In the last lesson, we were able to understand what is a doc type declaration, specifically for HTML5. This is the one that we use for declaring the version of our document. Now I want to talk about the HTML comment tags. So what are HTML comment tags? They are not displayed in the browser, but they can help in documenting your HTML source code. So let me just see here our document here, and let me go and save this first. So you would see that if you make certain changes, let's say I made some changes here, and I would want to go and put this on line 2, and I would want to say comment. This is an example of the comment tag, and you would see that it's showing up here a circle that signifies that you have made certain changes in your document. So if you want to save it, you can either go to the file tab here, and you will also be seeing here an unsaved file in the file explorer tooltip or balloon tip here that's appearing. So you can also use save. Okay, by the way, save and save as are two different things. So if you say save, you want to save it on the same file or document. If we maximize the use of save as, that means you can have an option to save it and overwrite the file that you have here, or you can rename it and create a different file and put it in a different directory or folder. So I just wanted to differentiate the difference between save and save as. Usually this is something that you would commonly do in other application softwares that you use, such as word processors like Microsoft Word. Now, going back here, this is an example of the comment tag, and now that I've saved this, I would want to try and go and open up our document here, and you would see now that it's showing up more text. So it's showing up, this is an example of the comment tag. This is not an HTML element or tag, HTML5, HTML4, and hello world. Even though it did not show up in our developer tool here, we do have here the doc type HTML in the console. We don't have any errors because again, we have already declared the version. But again, inside of our code here, we don't want this. This is not being displayed because again, this is a declaration to the browser, and technically we don't want this content, all of this content here, because this might create some errors in the near future. So I don't want all of this content to be displayed inside of my document or to be read by the browser. So what I can do here is to maximize the use of what we call the comment tags. So comment tags, you can add comments to your HTML source by using a certain syntax. So here's how you do it. So usually, again, IntelliSense will make your life a lot easier. So if you type less than character, then the important character here, I usually call this important character because this is usually used for giving importance. And we have the hyphen, type it twice, and it will automatically generate the closing tag here that doesn't have any hyphen. And you would see that this will not be displayed inside of the browser once you render your document. It will only be present in, let me just Control X this and Control V. So right now I'm going to put this as a comment. This is an example of a comment tag. So if I'm going to press on Control S or Control Save, and then I go to our browser here, you would see that this text now will no longer be displayed in our browser. So again, that means that we have already created a comment. So usually comments are great for debugging HTML because you can comment out certain parts of your code one at a time so that you can search for errors. So let me just do that here. So let's say I would want to say here that this is an HTML4 declaration, and I just want to use this as an example. So I'm giving description to the comment so that it will be a lot easier for the human, um, for the person who's reading it, that I would now know that if I have a teammate who's working on my project, now I know that, oh, okay, he created this because he wanted me to know that this is just an example of HTML 4.01 declaration, especially used for older documents or older versions of HTML. So again, this is a useful tool, especially when you're already doing your programs. It can help out when it comes to reminding you what is this part of your document for. So technically, if I remove this and I also remove this, you would see all of the content in between this opening comment tag. We have the exclamation mark and two hyphens, and then the closing comment tags that we have here, the two hyphens and the greater than symbol here, will now be, once we save this and I go to our browser, we have all of this content, right? So the only thing that will be left here supposedly should be the hello world, which is located in our body element here. So let's go and refresh this. And again, we're back to square one. We now have our hello world text as the only one that is being displayed by the browser. So again, comment tags will be able to help out in documenting your HTML source code, especially if you're working with a team, if you want to take note of certain things when you did something in your code. This will be good for debugging. This will be good for you to be able to search for errors and try out certain things in your code.